Test. Test. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to begin the event. We would like to kindly invite everyone to please be seated. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we kindly invite everyone to please be seated. Thank you very much. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Mokno Yusof, Chairman of AmBank Group. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Azman Hashim, Chairman Emeritus and Honorary Advisor of AmBank Group. Mr. Jamie Ling, Group Chief Executive Officer of AmBank Group. Yang berbahagia Dato' Muhammad Noor Muhammad Khalid, or famously known as Dato' Lat, Seniman Diraja, Malaysia. Esteemed Board of Directors of AmBank Group, Senior Management of AmBank Group, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening. Welcome to the official launch of Bangunan AmBank Group's new building Facade. We are delighted to have you here with us tonight at the beautiful Indigo Hotel located in the heart of Kuala Lumpur. My name is Afiq Zainal from Group Corporate Communications and Marketing, and I am truly honored to be your host for this momentous occasion this evening. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we already know, this year marks a monumental milestone for AmBank Group as we celebrate our 50th anniversary, our Golden Jubilee. For half a century, AmBank Group has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving our clients and communities with dedication and excellence. Therefore, we'd like to extend a warm welcome once again to all our distinguished guests who have joined us tonight. Your presence truly makes this event special as we celebrate these significant milestones together. Right, ladies and gentlemen, to kick things off, let us prepare ourselves for an insightful sharing session with some of the most esteemed figures in our industry. Please join me in welcoming to the front, Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Mokno Yusof, Chairman of AmBank Group. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Azman Hashim, Chairman Emeritus and Honorary Advisor of AmBank Group. Mr. Jamie Ling, Group Chief Executive Officer of AmBank Group. And our special guest for tonight, our Seniman Diraja Malaysia, Dato' Lat. This sharing session will be moderated by none other than our Chief Executive Officer of AmBank Islamic, Encik Ikhwan Mukhzani. Let's give them a big round of applause, everyone.
So thank you to our Masters of Ceremony. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. To my left, so we all know Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Azman Hashim, Chairman Emeritus and Honorary Advisor of AmBank Group. To Tan Sri's right, another distinguished Tan Sri Mokno Yusof, Chairman of AmBank Group. Our special guest, Yang berbahagia Dato' Lat, Seniman Diraja, Dato' Muhammad Noor bin Muhammad Khalid. Welcome to our event. And to Dato' Lat's left is Yang berusaha Mr. Jamie Ling, Group CEO of AmBank Group. Okay, so Tan Sri Mokno has asked me to be as informal as possible. But I need to do a quick introduction. So it gives me tremendous pleasure to host this particular forum. I do understand that the four panelists will share their insights, in particular of what has transpired in the past and how we're going to move forward. So I'm very pleased to have all these four gentlemen to my left to share their views. And before we start the visual treat, which is the highlight of today. So I think it's only proper that I start with Tan Sri Azman, who is the man who founded AmBank Group and transformed it and grew it into what it is today, a universal banking group. So, Tan Sri, first question. I'm sorry. Okay, it's a big night for us tonight, and we can only imagine what's going through your mind, Tan Sri. So maybe, Tan Sri, if you can share how you feel to see where AmBank is today.
Assalamualaikum, good evening everybody. Ikhwan, thank you very much for the introduction. Of course, for me, tonight is a very special occasion, 50th anniversary, and having gone through the journey until today, and having Dato' Lat together, I think is great. As you can see, today launching is about the facade, the new facade, featuring the camel. It brings back some good memories for me. For example, you might not know, I bought a piece of land where the building is standing today. There was a small two-story wooden building that at that time occupied by the Teachers Association. I can't remember how I bought it, but I bought it. But those days, you know, being an entrepreneur, I did all sorts of things like boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam. And then after buying the land, I said, oh, okay, now we occupied Bangunan Sana. We got, I think we can occupy one building. Okay, I'll build one building. Things like that, you know, it's just like that. So, and of course, the building was officially opened by Tun Mahathir when he was Prime Minister. By the way, he also officiated Menara building, Tun Mahathir. So, tonight, what really brings me close to that facade is Datuk Lat and his camel. Of course, we started with Lat long time ago. He was nice enough to promote our services and products, and nobody can do it his way, you know, Lat's way. The human touch, the Malaysian touch, you know, we were lucky. So our characters, or his characters, was actually accepted by the public. They recognize his characters. Ada nama semua. May have a children's gang, savers gang. You remember that? So, Datuk Lat, your camel, kan? Of course, we recognize until today, people see camel near AmBank. Whenever, when I travel with business people overseas, when we see a camel, they will say, AmBank. And the image of camel that they, in their minds, public mind, is your camel, the one that we see. And he's been consistent all through his drawing. He did many camels on his drawing for us, very consistent, and we recognize it. So tonight, I think he also recognized this is nobody else but his latest his latest version of camel. So thank you, Datuk Lat. I think great that you're here. So I think I got a lot of story lah, tapi cukup pakai for time being.
Okay, so Tan Sri, you mentioned about the building. So it's a while since the building had a facelift. So this time to commemorate the 50th anniversary, so we've engaged Datuk Lat, and I was made to understand that this is the biggest illustration for Datuk Lat's talent. So maybe you can share with us your reaction when it was first shown to you, whether there were any permutations, combinations before we arrived at the final drawing.
No, I think with artists like Datuk Lat, you can't interfere. Yeah, because, you know, this is mind, his thought, how he looks at you. And if you interpret it your way, it might not come out what he, so we want it to be his concept, his idea. I think I'm glad that he did this. So you can see that the camel, I don't think anybody else can draw like that, it's his camel. So, anyway, the other thing you want to ask me about the future, I think, but the other thing is, okay, after 50 years, today, tonight, we can see all of you here. I'm so happy that the bank has come up to this stage. Very, I think, successful. Thanks to all of you, all of you. And look, we have overcome our challenges, or the new challenges, but with the way we are set up, board of directors, C-suites, and everything else, led by Azimat No, I think we are quite confident that we can overcome any challenges and improve further in the future. So that's to start all. Thank you.
Okay, so that concludes for Tan Sri for the time being. So maybe I'll pass to the other Tan Sri. So Tan Sri Mano, you've been with us for 3 years. And before that, you were in a myriad of industries, helming a number of big organizations, GLCs, banks. So maybe you can tell us, when you first came on board 3 years ago, if you could recall, what's your first impression, Tan Sri, of us?
Well, first impression, it was a wonderful impression, I must say.
And personally, for new persons, it was very conducive for me. I found a very warm work condition, work environment. All the people seem to belong. So to me, it must reflect the philosophy of the founding father. Tan Sri, and salute, congratulations. So it was a good impression. Thank you.
Yeah, Tan Sri, thank you for the very positive words. Another question for you, because usually, at the board strategy, you ask us questions, so maybe it's my turn to ask questions. So Tan Sri, in your mind, what makes AmBank as a Malaysian bank?
Well, AmBank, by all definition, is a truly Malaysian bank. And we've gone for the last 50 years. We've been the integral of the country's growth and development. And we certainly can have a stake to claim being part of that. So choosing the theme, Bank Kita, I think is most appropriate. So I think I cannot say more than that. It's really wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe we can give it.
Let me add. Tan Sri Mano is a very humble man, If you look at his background and CVs, you'll be very surprised what he has been through, what positions he has held. Very, very big organization, institutions, He has worked with how many prime ministers? 3 at least, all of them. So, he dealt with the top people. But he's very humble. He never talks about this thing. But you can see that when he discusses things, things come out from his background, his experience. So we're very lucky to have him. And I was one of those very grateful that he agreed to join us. Hope you stay on long time.
Okay, I've asked the group chairman, let me ask the group CEO. Now, this is the month of April, and May is next month. So, Jamie, you've been with us for 8 years. So, of course, you've been with us during the trials, tribulations, challenges, glory, good and bad, ups and downs. So now you are the group CEO, helming us, the group at management level, during its 50th year. How do you feel?
I think certainly an honor. I have been CEO for 18 months, since November 2023. And certainly it's an honor, a privilege to lead the bank, number one. And in a particular year, the 50th year, that we have a great story to tell. So again, it's for us to tell that story about what we've achieved in the last 8 years, but certainly even beyond that. So I think very proud. There is also the apprehension around not letting people down. And to the extent that we are on a high base, we then have to keep on building from that high base. The bank is in great shape. And for me, when I joined the bank 8 years ago, the first thing that sort of struck me when I decided to join the bank, coming back from abroad, is that it is a people's bank. You can see it in the building. What's on the facade, your bank, AmBank, Malaysia's bank. So AmBank brought me home. I think that's the backstory to it. And sure, we look forward to telling this story this year. It's a good story to tell. We've just concluded, and May is also a bonus month. So from that perspective, I think Ekwan was just having a subtle dig to say, is that going to be a good year for us? And certainly it has been. Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie. So another question for you is, it's about the next 50 years. Now, I know it's a very difficult question because when we do our financial modeling, forward looking is really up to 40 years. But my question to you is really, how do you see, to the best of your ability, in a nutshell, vis-a-vis the challenges, the dynamic market landscape? So where do you feel that and how are we going to chart ourselves forward?
I think if you sort of reflect upon Tan Sri Azman's description around bing bang, bing bang, bing bang, and then we are where we are. Is that we got more things right than we got more things wrong to last for 50 years. It's not easy. Business cycles have put many companies out, but we are there. So that longevity is something which, to me, while the environment today with all the tariffs and all the political discourse, is one whereby it is certainly brittle. Yeah. Things breaks easily. Certainly anxious. It creates lots of anxiety. It's also non-linear. Yeah. Rapid changes and challenges is the culture of the bank. That, I think, is constant. And our cultures and values, I think, as a steward of the bank, as a management team, we work hard to make sure that we maintain that. That's number one. What is also constant is the meritocracy aspects that we run, that the opportunities are for all. I mean, Malaysia kita, multiculturalism. And that reflection, I guess, is also in the KAG team. Yeah, the KAG's aspects, as I understand it, what is their core purpose? It's helping the hardcore poor. So staying humble and doing good. So if those pieces of pillars are strong and are constant, then I think all the other variables around it is just a problem to be solved. So in my view, that would be the stewardship role that past management, past board, and the current board and management team will work hard to try to preserve. I think those are real core strength of the company. That will be constant for the next 50 years, at least.
So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to turn our attention to Datuk Latna. So, Datuk, you've been involved with us for a while. I was made to understand from Tan Sri, when you left with Straits Times, you were quite close to us. So I guess there's some affinity towards AmBank. So maybe if you can just share how you feel, how we were, and how we are now. Sekarang ni macam mana, Datuk? Banding dengan dulu-dulu lah.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I've been around for a long time. I never left the Straits Times either, because in 1984, 85, I left them as an employee, but I was at that time very famous, very famous, and I had been working for them for 10 years, first as a reporter, and then of course as a cartoonist. And I found that, my first trip to Japan in the early 80s, the cartoonists there, the mangaka, they all work at home. They work at home, and then the famous ones, and in the afternoon, a motorcycle rider would come and collect the drawing, dispatch. And I met these cartoonists, individual cartoonists, they were famous. Sato Sampe, Noboru Baba, big names. So I said, I want to be like them, And I came back, and in 84, I said goodbye to Straits Times. And the Straits Times were very nice to me. Although they made me famous, they said, one of the directors who I handed the resignation letter said, but we won't stop you. you can do anything you like. We want to see you become rich. You know, that caught me by surprise because that's not the intention of leaving. Becoming rich was never my intention. You know, I never thought about becoming rich. I just wanted to be like those cartoonists in Japan. And I left, but I worked harder for them, you know, and they paid me very well, you know. And then I worked so hard for them, but they gave me this thing which they didn't in the beginning, in the first 10 years, freedom to draw for others. So I had some friends in the Arab nation whom I used to meet after work, you know, in town, in Bangsa, you know, and they say, come work for us. And AmBank was the first outside of NST that I worked for. I worked for them because, well, it's a famous, was a famous bank. And I, you know, in those days, we mentioned Arab Malaysian Bank, we feel, this is something very new. And we all opened account there. And then I got the opportunity to work. And that was the beginning. And I was very hardworking. I drew for the Straits Times. I gave them my best drawings. And I gave my best drawings to the AmBank. And I didn't know that I drew so much for you. You know, the whole 24th floor or 25th floor, I see all my drawings. You know, usually, you know, I tell you one big secret. Huh? You be careful of what you see that you did many years ago. Because sometimes, you know, you let's say you read a letter that you wrote in 1960s. You feel like it's written by a stranger, you know? Who's this who wrote all this? But when I went there, you know, second time around, I look at all the drawings and I say, my God, there are so many. All the corners that I had to go through. But when I saw them, I felt something inside. There's nothing that says, I shouldn't have done this. You know? There are things that we said, let's say, a long time ago when we were a teenager, and you regret it today. But, of course, you were so young. And there are things that I drew for the NST in, let's say, 1974, 1975. But I always end up looking at something and say, no, it's okay. I didn't say anything bad. You know, my column was on the editorial page. It's the most important page of the newspaper. You know, and the Straits Times told me, draw anything you like. You know, Tan Sri Lee Sui, who was the group editor-in-chief, he said, draw anything you like. Okay. What shall I draw? Anything. So, because we didn't know where we were heading in the 70s, you know. And I look at the drawings on the 25th floor. I said, my God, there's a lot of camels that I draw. And they were nice-looking camels. And, yeah, and I pay attention to the camels. You even had the camels in the zoo, from AmBank. And then, then I realized I was hardworking then. You know, I had all these details. I cannot do it today. That's why my camel today is very simple. And yeah, I ended up, you know, I went to Egypt in 1997. And that was the first time I rode a camel. And so when we had this idea for the camel here, I thought I would draw the camel being animated. You know, it's an animation. It's a very short animation. Because camels, when they get up, when they are sitting down, they're resting, and then they get up. Is the buttock that go out first, buttock, and then only the the front leg. You know, I say, oh, I'll do that. So I saw that all the time in Cairo, and it's funny looking. Maybe I would draw that, but then, of course, what was the point of us looking at a camel getting up and down whole day? Eh? So what we have is, what we see now is just camel looking at us, and it's a happy camel.
Thank you, Dato'. That was very interesting. But can I just try and probe a bit more? Because the culmination of the event is really about the camel on the building. So it's great to know that you know a lot about camels. And I've learned something new about camels, and I'm sure all of us have learned more about camels. But in particular, the camel of AmBank. Is there anything that inspired you with the design for the camel on the building?
Yeah, well, everybody knows the camel is a very wise animal. It's a very strong animal created for the desert. And God created the camel just for, for traveling on the sandy area of the world, very hot area. It is so powerful, it's so strong, and it's got the ability to do this and that, to store water, and so on. It's the symbol of strength. So, of course, the way I look at it, I will have to draw a simple camel to represent, a very beautiful and strong animal in a jovial cartoon manner. So that's why I agreed to do it.
Let me just add about the camel here. Why we chose the camel as a mascot? When I took over the Arab Malaysia, 100%, it was a joint venture with the Arabs. That's why Arab Malaysian, and they used the camel for the coin box. Why I think when Negara gave them a license, bank license, was because they promised to bring in Arab money, Arab capital, and bring in. They promised, but nothing happened. That's why I bought them also. They, sorry to say, there are two partners inside there, investor. The two of them always quarrel in the board. They quarrel among themselves, not kita. So anyway, but at that time, this was I think it is. We were looking for capital funds from overseas, so I thought I better keep that Arab element, hoping to get investment from. And in any case, by that time, the camel was already there. So we decided to carry on with it. And of course, the camel, we believe with a lot of stamina, it can last a long time in the desert without water. It's resilient, So it's a good mascot. So I'm glad it is still there today. We didn't change it to anything else. So hopefully the camel will live longer than all of us. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Tan Sri Mano, maybe any final or closing remarks from you?
Camel. In the good book, camel has a very special place for resilience, persistence, and strength. So with this new launch of after the first 50 years, the camel is still there. Inshallah, I think we'll go far.
Nancy, you want to add?
No authority on it.
Okay, so wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, can we give it up for the four gentlemen in front of you? So with that, it gives me a tremendous pleasure to conclude the event. So on behalf of the organizers, I wish to express my utmost appreciation to all the four of you to share your views and insights, and most importantly, to understand the genesis and the context of where we were and hopefully where we're going to be for the most longest of time. So with that, I pass back to the Master of Ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ikwan. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we'd like to invite our esteemed speakers to take their seats, please. Please give us a moment to clear the area and prepare for the next agenda, ladies and gentlemen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, next on our agenda is a special video presentation that showcases the journey and transformation leading up to today's unveiling ceremony. Please direct your attention to the screen as we present this exclusive footage highlighting our remarkable progress over the years. Enjoy. Bangunan AmBank Group, formerly known as Bangunan Arab Malaysian, was our very first headquarters, a 26-story tower built by Arab Malaysian Development Berhad. It quickly became a standout on Jalan Raja Chulang, especially with the iconic camel on its facade. As we grow and move forward, it's time to refresh the icon. The camel, long a proud part of our story, is being reimagined in conjunction with AmBank Group 50th anniversary. We are now introducing a brand new design by Malaysia's renowned cartoonist, Dato' Lat. This will be the largest Lat artwork ever featured on a building. It reflects our spirit of winning together and our commitment to staying relevant in the industry and continue to serve our customers nationwide. We are excited to share this journey with you. Your bank, Malaysia's bank, AmBank. Get ready to witness the new facade of Bangunan AmBank Group. What an incredible journey it has been, and now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the official launch of Bangunan AmBank Group's new building facade. Ladies and gentlemen, for better viewing, we would like to invite our guests to the glass window in front as we prepare for the spectacular unveiling that will mark this historic occasion. Not to worry, our ushers are here to guide you to the glass window accordingly. Ushers, please. We would like to invite Yang Bahagia Tan Sri Mani Yusof, Yang Bahagia Tan Sri Azwan Hashim, and Mr. Jamie Ling to the launch pad, please. We would like to invite also Yang Bahagia Dato' Lad and Yang Bahagia Datin to join our VIPs at the front. Our event committee, can we please assist our guests to a good or viewing area so we can see the Bangunan AmBank Group launch. A truly exciting event. Is everyone ready? Is everyone in place? Oh, let's give it another 10 seconds. Let's dim the light. All right. For your information, we are also live on Facebook and YouTube for AmBankers to experience the momentous occasion with us at home. Anytime now. We ready? But I can't hear everyone. Are we ready? All right, gentlemen, on my count, please place your right palm on the launch pad. Are we ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Bangunan AmBank Group's new building facade. Truly a breathtaking display. We hope you enjoyed the laser show. The laser show will continue until midnight, allowing you to enjoy the spectacular display at your leisure throughout the evening. For your information, again, ladies and gentlemen, this extraordinary piece by Yang Bahagia Datuk Lat is the largest Lat artwork ever featured on a building. Does not only enhance our facade, but also to celebrate our history and dedication to serving the communities with the 50 years and more. For your information also, the song you just heard is a new rendition or a remix of our AmBank Juara song. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we have come to the end of the official ceremony. To conclude our evening, we would like to invite you to join us for dinner at the dining area. Thank you once again for being here and making this event truly unforgettable. Please feel free to mingle around, and we hope you to enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much. We would like to request our main VIPs to remain at the front for a photo op session, please. Thank you. Bahagia Tan Sri Azman Hashim, Mr. Jamie Ling, and Yang Bahagia Datuk Lat to be on the platform, at the platform for a photo op session, please.
Keazaman membangun kepercayaan. Terima kasih, berpegang janji menuju kejayaan.